been rather busy the last week, and one of my objectives for this weekend was to put out the Path of Building for the build I'm using. This is my Ice Strike Invoker, and I have taken all the gear here and I've imported it into Path of Building. By import, I mean I manually entered and configured everything. Everything is an exact match from what I currently have. I will state that my cold resistance is a little off right now because I'm saving to upgrade this ring right here. I just purchased this amulet, and this ring will go ahead and be replaced with a breach ring that it is like cold damage, cold resistance, cold attack, and that will cap my cold resistance as I'm way over on lightning right now. It doesn't take, I can get a really cheap one that is better than what I have now for probably like, I think it's like 80 to 100 exalts. I just don't have that because I spent everything on this amulet right now, which was 6 divine. This amulet was a massive boost. I can now walk around in maps with about 5,000 life, which generally will prevent me from being one-shotted. It could be more than this, but this would be sufficient for now. So it could be a little bit more, but only if I get a better body armor, and I have not managed to do that yet. The better version of the body armor would be no physical thorn damage on here, and then another evasion energy shield prefix, and that would increase the armor to like, I'm guessing about 1,000 to 1,200, somewhere in that range, which would be a pretty intensive upgrade for the build. That being said, I'm going to pull up the Path of Building here. So I have Path of Building configured in 2 ways at the moment. And the first manner is this right here. And I have current tree and level 100 tree. So as I said, I have named everything exactly as I have it on my character, so see what I'm using here. Send at 47% crit rate with average hit damage about 866. If it combined all the skills like Charged Shockwave and Tempest Bell, we're sitting around 50 or 570,000 DPS. Tank's okay. I need to, as I said, need to finish off the cold resistance. That's the only thing that's not where it needs to be. I am chaos immune, as it says right there. If I go over here to configuration, let's go to skills first. So skills, I have Ice Strike, Martial Tempo, Concentrated Effect, Primal Armament, Heft, and Ice Bite. With the Ice Bite here, I have to freeze somebody for the 35% damage. If you want something more consistent, I will add this in here. You could do close combat support instead, which you are in close combat with the staff. So as long as you're hitting something, it will still work. It's just a bit of a less damage bonus. 576. Also, if I go over to configuration, I'm running 3 power charges, 30 rage. This assumes I'm basically fighting a boss. Crit and non-crit recently shocked. I'm considering them to be frozen. They are chilled and they are shocked. These are probably the more normal numbers I see are actually 30 and 30, so I'll just reconfigure that. In combat against a boss, I have 30 rage generally, and everything else is just about correct. I'm going to click save here, and then if I go over to skills, you can see I've added everything in. I have Ice Strike, Tempest Spell. Those are the 2 main attacks here. Being Ice Strike is the primary attack, and Tempest Spell I use on rare enemies. If Grim Feast, Ghost Dancer, Wind Dancer, Charged Staff, Herald of Thunder, Herald of Ice. So the second tree I have is just for reaching level 100, and the only things I don't have allocated right now for what I'm doing is going to be these 2 points right here. So serrated edges and adjust attack damage. I'd also allocate this whole node right here for overflowing power. And then lastly, I'd put the next 2 up here, or 3 up here. I'd move this over to here, and then I'd put the 3 into here for quarterstaff's count as consuming an additional power charge. This will give me, this would give me 2 more power charges. So let's go ahead and just switch this. Level 100 tree, this is what max looks like, sitting at 722 DPS. But this actually counts as having an additional power charge. So this is equivalent to having 6. So I would need to go into configuration and change this to 6. and 767k DP or 767,000 DPS. And I do have Guardian Pinnacle boss selected, as well as enemy always has 75% resistances. I haven't done anything crazy, at least I don't feel like it. I just kind of went in, and this is how I put my build together. You're able to look around, find out various bits of information. This is what I thought was best. I prefer Path of Building as a tool. I'll link a link for both Max Roll and Path of Building in the description. This is my preferred method of looking at characters. I prefer this configuration tool than I do Max Roll, though you can export from Max Roll into Path of Building as well. So I will also throw a link to Path of Building 2 into the description. This is a very, very useful tool, and it's good to familiarize yourself with it, as it is highly beneficial. I'm guessing the final build is going to be well over 1 million DPS, as my staff really sucks. This is my actual staff. It's just what I have. It's pretty basic for the most part, and nothing overly special or crazy or anything. It's just what I'm working with. Aside from this, when I put my gear in, I left off any, in most cases, like this one I have, you can see I put the life on this one, but in most cases, if there was only 5 nodes or 5 mods that applied to my build, I left the other one off. See, like the belt, you can see I don't have the thorn damage because it doesn't do anything for this. I don't want to be hit. I'm an evasion-based build. I think there's another couple items. So on the boots, I left off I think there's a little bit of life on there. On the gloves, I left off, I think, life as well. So I don't need, so there's still room for improvement within that. And then both rings can still be upgraded to breach rings. And I can literally triple the staff DPS. I've seen staves that have whose minimum damage is higher than my maximum damage. Unfortunately, they're also like 60 divine, so I don't have that, nor do I have time to farm that. And I might get one eventually, but I'll probably build a new character before that happens. This character has been a blast to play. I'm still going to keep pushing it a bit further. I want to get the ring so my resistance is at least capped. Then from there, I'm probably going to go to a Stormweaver. Nonetheless, I'm not going to talk anymore about this. If you have questions, comment in the description, and I'll respond. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.